Ladies and gentlemen,
you are now about to witness
the journey that is the Life Choices podcast.
Yeah!
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode here on the Life Choices podcast. Today, I am welcoming a longtime friend, Kelly Nazari. Welcome.
Hello.
I'm so glad you're here today. Before we get into anything, for some of the audience that has been with us for a while, they will have already watched your husband's episode on here, which I mean, I can't even express to you the level of wow.
Yeah.
I think I might have said wow like 72 times in the episode. Just
he's an interesting person.
Phenomenal human being,
He really
and
is.
very forthcoming with vulnerability during the topic.
He
So,
is.
and the other thing I wanted to say is I want to say thank you to you because I met your husband at the gym without knowing that you guys were together. Had no
Right.
idea.
I know.
who
I
this-
was wondering if you knew that.
no idea when we first met.
Which is really neat.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the first few conversations, it was just two random dudes at the gym, just kind of like
Yeah.
noticed we were both at the gym all the time and started chatting. And then, hey, I do this, blah, blah, blah. Here you go. He goes home, you know, and then obviously the conversation's there. And you have just done nothing but say good things about me.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just so genuinely appreciative of that because you never know how people interpret you as a person, especially in the avenue in which we met.
Right.
Because, you know, this is one of the days where I was drinking every single day and more times than not, I was probably drunk in our interactions.
Probably me too.
Exactly. And it's just nice to know that who I was then even was appreciated by people like yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you so much for saying.
No, you were always somebody that I look forward to seeing, or like when I saw it was always a pleasure. I enjoyed our conversations. So
Love it.
it was easy. And then I was just so excited because I hadn't seen you in so long. And I think we had both like kind of done our life. And then whenever he mentioned you, and then he brought home, I think you gave him a t-shirt or a hat or something. And I was like, oh, that's my friend Bradley. And he was like, what? How did we figure it was just, so I thought maybe you had seen on social media we were married or dating or had a child. And no, I think that's so cool that it was organic like that.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
So him and I talked about a lot of things, and we might touch on a few of the similar topics. Obviously, the business, which is a huge, amazing thing.
Yeah.
But if you could just let the audience know a little bit about yourself, where you are now, where you might have been before, and then we'll just get into some deeper stuff.
Professionally or personally?
Yeah,
or
both, whatever you feel like.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm a mom now. I mean, I think that's like the biggest, I want to start with that. I'm married, which, you know, to someone like Alexander is a big feat, but we're very happy, and it's come a long way. You know, that whole relationship has been like a big part of my life and my story. I have 3 kids now. I'm 3 weeks postpartum, so I'm 30 pounds heavier too, but you know, that's all right. So I have 3 kids, 3 girls, and I have a stepdaughter from his previous relationship. So 4 girls on any given, every other weekend. So that runs my life, for the most part. And then, I have the business. I'm kind of a crazy person if you actually, like, people think I'm nuts because I had worked with NBC Sports. It started out as like a smaller company, and it was purchased by Comcast, and then NBC bought Comcast. So I was fortunate enough, and I still am, to have kind of worked that wave for 13 years. It'll be 14 years in February. So I've had like that kind of stable corporate background, I guess you could say, that has taught me a lot of like the corporate world. I think can like be a blessing and a curse, but it's taught me so much. And I knew I was like, I had been in this area for about 10 years, and I was ready to like do the next thing. So yeah, I ended up going out on my own. It was during my first maternity leave. I started a hair salon that had childcare, so I was kind of in a pinch. My mom was sick. My dad had passed away a few years back before then. My mom was getting very sick. She was staying with me, and I'm like, who am I going to get to watch this baby? And I had already had this like idea about the business, so I went crazy and just did it.
Amazing.
Which was scary, but it's been great, and I love my chaos. I love I think I need chaos in my life. I've learned that recently. I'm like, I don't know what you call it. It's not like I'm not on medication for it, but I'm like, I think that's what it is. I could take my, an ADD medication or whatever it might be, but I think it's just like what fuels me, like doing a lot of things keeps me happy. Alexander will be like, we'll be watching TV. He's like, are you even paying attention? You're on your computer, on your phone. I'm like, I'm literally like kind of doing both. And I can't just sometimes sit there and watch TV. So, so I have 2 locations, and we're actually opening a third one. I'm announcing it tomorrow.
Wow.
Downtown West Palm, which I'm super pumped
That's
about.
phenomenal.
That's
Amazing.
like, we live 10 minutes from there. And 1 Jupiter, 1 Tequesta, and then 1 in West Palm Beach. So.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you're announcing tomorrow,
Yeah.
which on the Life Choices podcast, we say this often. Today is yesterday, and yesterday might be the future because we do batch filming.
Okay.
So when this goes out, tomorrow will actually be probably a month and a half ago.
Yeah, that's what
Which
I
is
figure.
awesome.
It's like safe. Well, the current owner of the location we're taking over announced it to his staff yesterday. So I have a staff meeting tomorrow night with all my girls, and I'm like, really was hoping to announce it to them, and now I feel safe because he's like announced it to his
So
staff,
you're taking over a location that's already built.
Yeah, and it's like perfect. It's already like I don't have to do a lot, which is like what I look for.
And then there's the staff stays.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I mean, that's the plan, and like it's obviously a little scary to think because
Some will leave, possibly.
Yeah, potentially.
Some might stay. Yeah,
they've been there for a long time, and like they, the owners are in their early 50s, but they have like a really good name and a good brand, and he's just like ready to retire.
So will the name of the place be switched over
Yeah,
to
it will be
your
Metime.
name?
Yeah,
Metime.
it will be
Okay.
Metime, and then we incorporate the childcare, which isn't like a huge business for us. Like we're not not every person that comes in is bringing their child, but I think like the brand itself, like moms and people support it.
Single parents.
Single parents, or like just like you might want to go and just get your hair blow dried, and like you're like, oh, I have my baby, or just need a break from your baby. I can relate to that. So yeah, we'll have that there. I don't think the downtown location will be, tons of children, but at least like if they want to bring their kid, they can.
They can.
Yeah.
And do you have to build out a separate section for this within the side?
Kind of. This was the hard part because originally it's actually someone at the gym that Alexander knew and was training, and we same thing, kind of like figured out, oh my God, he talked about the hair salon, and the guy was like, oh, I have a hair salon, and it's a loft, so it's part of the Whitney building downtown.
Okay,
So it's like
I
one of
know
those
it,
like
yeah.
glass front buildings, so it's a loft. So I said originally, I was like, well, we can't put childcare in there, like it's out. And I didn't really like get excited about it. I was like, no. And then they, kept coming back about it. So I was like, let me go look at it. But so the loft room, I'm sure you're familiar with like the way that those look. Even like the Edge has those, like where it's just like the one room up top, but there's a bathroom with a shower. So it's not like a huge open loft. So it's kind of like that there with like a railing. So I think we're just gonna block it off with black it off with a curtain, and then a room divider. And the TV will be on. I mean, the hair salons are usually like loud as can be with blow dryers and things like that. So worst case, it's attached to the Whitney, so I figure they can take the kids for a walk or just get them out.
And then you
that
have
way.
like 1 or 2 individuals that do the daycare?
Yeah, yep. And then
Okay.
I'm just like kind of restructuring the business now because I obviously have 3 kids. My manager has 2 kids. Stylists are able to bring their kids, so it's becoming more popular with the staff, which is amazing. That
Absolutely.
That's what like the draw is, like where I can offer to somebody, a single mom, that like you can bring your kid to work type thing. And yeah, it's just like kind of taken off with that, like it's been busy.
Well, I have to imagine with that as a draw, it's probably easier to get good stylists.
Yeah, I think we've gotten, and it's funny because I can say that like even like I can think of like 3 stylists that are still there that like they originally started with their kids in the childcare, and then their kids have now like moved on to their own daycares or whatever. Like it worked for a little while for whatever, and then like so it's just interesting. Like you kind of like they grow up together, and like we grew up as moms together. So it's been really
and then
great.
The kids grow up with other kids as well, so it's kind of like a whole community.
I know,
a family
and
of
I'm like,
everything.
that's what I was just thinking. I'm like, well, I have to restructure this because like my kids are eventually going to go to school, and I'm not going to need this. But there's going to be younger stylists that have kids, or there's always going to be, I hope that there's always going to be the need for it. And then, maybe the clients will I think it's going to take some time for that concept to catch on because it's done well, but it's never been done before. So it's like the brand is that's why I think having the 3 locations is really gonna like launch it to the next level.
I said this to Alex when he was on here, and I'll say this to you as well, is that without a doubt, you guys need to get I don't know if it's an intellectual property lawyer, a patent lawyer, or whatever.
To do I know.
Because this idea will catch on. If it's not already being done elsewhere in North America, it just makes sense.
I know, and that's where it's like, so now the only thing is like, you know, the salon business in itself, like to have overhead, like even a front desk person or, you know, the assistants and stuff, it's costly. So a lot of salons like run on, you know, the owner is the stylist, and they, you know, sometimes it's just like one, you know, they're checking out their own people. So, you know, the overhead of having that additional person is what, you know, it can be tricky sometimes, but it's working for us. And like for me, a lot of times I'm like, well, I would be paying for childcare elsewhere. So I'll like, and I think it's almost like a marketing expense because you're like being able to draw people that way.
100%.
So,
and as the current situation, as a mom of young children who would have to pay, and I have no idea, but I'm sure it's
ridiculous.
Retarded expensive.
It's like at least I think $300 a week per child. Yeah, so you got to think what
so you're like maybe at that,
like 900
minimum, and that's not including the gas to get them
week.
There. Yeah, and then that's
it's insane.
A week.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. I was like, yeah,
like $4,000 a month if you have multiple kids.
I know. So that's what I'm like. I don't care. I will gladly take them to the salon and pay somebody, you know, hourly to do it. But I'm trying to recreate the role. So the downtown one will kind of be like the guinea pig, I guess you should say. So I'm going to have an assistant that is like down on the floor working with the stylist, like somebody that's in cosmetology school, and then they are going to be, you know, liking children. So I have to find that balance too, which I've actually realized it's like way more, you know, it's easier. Like I don't have any like cosmetology students that are like, oh no, I don't want to be near kids. It's actually like it works. I think my business draws that because they know that's the concept. So they're not like, you know, you're not going to go into like a mom-friendly salon where there's children and be like, oh, I don't want to go near those people. So it's been working out so far. So I'm going to have it to where it's like a hybrid where they're assisting. And if we get booked with childcare, then they go up and do that role. So I'm going to see how that works.
You could also look into the many universities you have nearby for internships.
True.
Absolutely. That's a great program. The girls I used to work with at the beginning of Life Choices would get their assistant, like their intern who wanted to be into like social media and not paying any dollars. They're in the internship program. A really good idea. Yeah. So reach out to like PBA. Yeah. And then I don't know where like FSU is and all the other places, but they're within an area that you could reach out to somebody and be like, hey, this is my business. I have 3 of them. I need an intern that is interested in getting into cosmetology, childcare, whatever, and I don't know if they like get credits for it or if it's part of their program.
They probably would. We have like some high school girls that have come in and we've given them like, I don't know, I sign a sheet. It's like they get credit because they're like, it's just high school, like majoring in, or like they're focusing on like childhood education, I guess. So that's not a bad idea with the college students because that's like more the younger ones. I'm like, all right, well, they can be assisting the other person. I don't want to like leave a 14-year-old with a bunch of crazy toddlers, but you know, we can put the college kids in there. Yeah, you get like an 18, 19, 20-year-old person who's in possible many different fields, and if they're already down here doing school, I mean, it's also a possibility of a full-time employee later on. Oh, totally. You know, and like they always love to get their hair done, those girls. So
hey, whatever program you have for them, be like, you get this, whatever.
Yeah, we'll do your hair. And like, okay, because I mean that can cost an arm and a leg these days.
Well, like we talked briefly with another guest on the show, his wife has a salon that we talked about briefly earlier, and some people will spend thousands of dollars.
It's insane.
Yeah. Because if you get like the extensions or the dye.
And that's what we do a lot of. Yeah. I mean, and that's where like I have a hard time I've had a hard time. When I originally opened, I was like all about, wanting to make it affordable in a sense. But then, I didn't really know the business at the time. I wasn't a hairdresser. So I was like this person like with a business mind coming in and trying to figure out the hairdressing side, which was crazy. And, now I'm like, I get it. It's still mind blowing that some people like in, on Palm Beach or Jupiter can charge X and then you go to probably like a Lake Worth or somewhere and it's going to be less. But
same product, same technique, but just
For the most part.
demographically,
Yeah.
different price.
Yeah, and then I've realized too, sometimes if you're too low, like it's a bad thing. Like for the clientele, like they're looking for a
They're like,
certain
well,
price
why,
point. What's
why
wrong?
is it? Yeah, why are they not doing it? Are they all learning still? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been. It's funny. My corporate job, like I was saying, it was a startup that got bought by bought. So like change. I was joked, and I still do. Like the only thing constant with that company with Golf Now was change. So and now I feel same like. I'm a startup, and now I'm seeing the same parallels, and it's pretty interesting to go through that.
You did corporate business, which clearly helps building a new business because you have a lot of business sense clearly from the education on the job there. But you did it, you said, for 13 years?
Yeah, now I'm on my third maternity leave. So
From them?
Yeah,
so
from
you're
them.
Still working
so I was
with
still
them.
working with them, yeah. And it actually was like still my escape, and my plan is to go back. So I make my own schedule, so I work from home, and I'm able, like, I have a manager that runs the salon, the salon at the time, salons. So it's going to get to the point, and they understand that too. Like,
you'll have a district manager, and then you'll have location.
Yeah,
managers.
and when it, if and when it grows, and if this one is the one, like when it grows, like they understand that, I had to have that conversation with the company at the beginning. Like, I'm starting a business, you have to be like transparent, but it was like it's been my escape. Like I go on the road, and I go to iHeart, and my territory's Miami and West Palm Beach. So I go to different golf courses and consult with them and talk with them. But everything was like very parallel, and it, which I found interesting, that like, a golf course, the way that that's run, in a hair salon, like you really, like if you do this, if you take out like the emotion out of a lot of the stuff, and you just keep it like small business and you run it that way, like a lot of this, like the marketing's the same, like even like, revenue managing or pricing and staffing. So a lot of what I was doing, and we were selling and technology was a big thing that I was selling, marketing. I was able to I already knew it for the golf business. So I just was like, well, why, we'll just do it here for the salon, which I don't think a lot of salon owners have, like the business side, which, that doesn't make me any better. If anything, like I had a lot more to like learn. Knowing the hair side, knowing the hair side of it, I think is more important. But I was able to get an edge on like drawing in people. So like I've been, I would say, successful, and like, we opened our doors, and we had people coming, which not everybody can say that. But then I didn't have like the best staff at the time because I wasn't like, I didn't really know what I was doing.
Hire.
Yeah.
So same players. Different game.
Yeah. So to get back to your question there, it's.
So what was it that you're living a life of corporate business, which obviously clearly successful, doing well. Mm-hmm. What was why did the shift want to happen?
I think I fell in love with West Palm Beach. I had been traveling. I started in Orlando with NBC or with Golf Now, and then went out to DC area, and then knowing like I'd been down this area, like I said, for like 10 years, and I was like, I mean, why are we leaving here? It's beautiful. It's a really nice place to live. So I knew that I had kind of hit the ceiling when it came to with the corporate job. Like I was making really good money, with a really great job. Like, mm-hmm. I mean, people wanted to have my job. Like they were gunning for me, and they still are, waiting for me to retire. But, because I've been doing it for so long, it really is like that. But no, it just is a great job. So I said, like, why am I going to go, I had the desire to like grow, obviously not my career, but like I knew that I was like capable of doing more, and I wanted to maybe get into management, but I knew I could do more. And I was like, what's my next step? Being the next level in corporate America for this company, would bring on, yes, some more money, but it would also bring on so much more responsibility. And then starting a family, like now I have 3 kids. Like I'm not going to be up in, especially with Alexander, he would lose his mind. Like, oh babe, I'm going to go, going to LA for 3 nights. Like it's just not,
deal with the litter.
You have to have like obviously a full-time nanny, and like, I don't want to be away from my kids like that. So I saw a lot of the moms in our company leave. And I'm like, it's the golf industry. So I'm like one of, I'm a minority there for sure. Not many women. And yeah, I knew that I was like, when you're younger, you like take the risks, and I did that. Like I moved. It's not like I ever said to them like, oh, I'm just staying here and this is what I want to do. I took, I moved for them 2 or 3 times and, took on different roles that I wasn't comfortable with. So I just was at that point, which I think like, you can speak to the masses here where like, you have to really like make like good life choices. You have to like really think about like, professionally versus like your personal life, like your happiness. And it's hard because I think people like think, you just got to keep going up the ladder and making more money.
I was going to say, some people are more interested in the security of the money.
Yeah.
Rather than what you're saying is going after your future mental health.
Yeah, totally. Like my happiness. I really was like I was able to make that. I think I think this generation, it's hard. I watch it now with the younger girls. Like they want success overnight. They want to demand things overnight. They want to demand money and stability and vacation and all the things. And it's like, yeah, I get it. But like, you got to work for that. And I worked for that. I mean, I started working when I was 13. So like not only that, but like, within the company that I was in, like you got to put your time in. You got to be at the bottom. You got to work your way up. And once you get to that point, there becomes a point where you can be selfish and say, okay, look your boss in the eye and say like, sorry, I'm just not interested in getting promoted. Yeah. And, it's been tough. Like there's days where I'm like, working for them where I'm like, I'm sure some people are like, oh, she's just like living her cush job down there. And, but it's a sales job and there's plenty of people like that. Like, yeah, I like my job. I can manage my own schedule, making great money. I love my clients. Like I can do it with my eyes closed. I say like my clients I'm close with them, so it's not like a new person that has to like, get it, like hit the pavement and grind and stuff. So yeah.
But that comment about the other people saying, oh, she must enjoy her cush job. It's like they haven't taken the time to put themselves in your shoes, right. Nor have they possibly, not saying they haven't, but possibly they haven't worked as hard.
Yeah.
And that's what we talk about is a lot of people have that thought of, oh, she's an overnight success, or, oh, it must be nice. Yeah. But it's like, no. Well, listen to her story. Yeah. She didn't do this after 1 year.
No.
This was preparation over long periods of time.
It is. And like, it's just interesting, like the decisions that you make through life and like the coulda, woulda, shouldas. Like I did go for a couple other positions and I didn't, actually there's one, for example, like I didn't get, and I could have been in New York, working. And it's like, it's crazy how life like just puts you in the places that you're meant to be. And I think it was me going for, it was a New York position versus this West Palm position. And I got offered the New York position. And I had to make a decision, and it's like so crazy how, and that was like a job that I wanted so much. And it's crazy how like you'd make a decision, and, coming down here, like definitely changed my life. I love it forever. Down here. Yeah. It's just such a nice vibe down here.
Well, I say this quite often out in the world and on the show, which is life gives you what you want when you need it, not when you want it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it does, like we do have that same belief system where, do the hard work. Absolutely. You have to go through those steps, totally. But the universe, God, whoever you want to lean on is going to give you those things in the way in which you need them. I had like the most awakening experience, like with the second location. It was like, I guess last summer. Yeah. And like, I had that happen and I was like in tears one day. I was like, clearly this is what I meant to do. Like I wrote down in like my, my handy dandy iPhone journal, and I was like, for me, like spiritually, like I did lose both my parents. So I was like, is this my parents? Is this like, 'cause my mom was a hairdresser. So I did have that. And just quick pause. You weren't a hairdresser ever before.
No,
you never,
I just
not
always
even a
wanted
thought.
to be. Yes. Okay. So that's like, when you grow up and you go, which I wish I would have done that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I always had that like, oh, I should just go to beauty school. And I'm like, leave my, cush job. Why would I do that to go? And that's just where you make choices. And it was like, there were so many times where I was like, I'll just do night school. And it just didn't make sense. So this was my way in my brain. Like, this was my way of like getting my dream.
Yeah.
So putting them both together, like using my business sense and then marrying them together. And then I did get my cosmetology license like during COVID, which, bless that too. I heard a lot of people.
Even in a tough time,
Yeah,
you
like
got
it was
good
like,
out of
it was, that's the thing. Like, I feel like I've been extremely blessed in life. I have worked hard, but like, it's just like what you were saying, like definitely, you have like a guardian angel or whatever, God, universe, all the things.
And let's get back onto what you were going to talk about your parents. Unfortunately, sorry to hear you've lost both your parents.
Yeah,
I've lost
crazy.
one. I understand on that level, even as an adult.
Yeah.
How that feels. You lose that person that was important to you on whatever level.
Yeah.
But you lost both, and you think that they have something to do.
I was just like, what is happening? Because there was no like way. I wasn't looking for more businesses. Like, I wasn't looking to take over these other salons. It just like fell in my lap, and I'm like, okay, how do I say no? Like, there's no way I should say no. There's so much opportunity here, and it's like, I like to like pride myself in being a very positive person, and like the whole, The Secret. I tried to read the book. I was like, duh, this is obvious to me. Like, just be positive, and things will happen. And I think that it has. Like, I think if you're like, you have a positive outlook, and if you're a nice person and kind person, like, for the most part, good things, should come your way. So
absolutely,
it's definitely, yeah. So with that, I was like, Mom, is that you? Like, I've never had that moment, and I was like crying one day in the house, and I like looked over at Alexander. I was like, I think this must be my mom, and he like doesn't ever see me cry, so he was like, okay, babe, maybe it is, like, it's okay. And because it was like I was looking around the house, and I was starting to like do the blinds, and my parents say that, like, my mom would always say when my dad passed that like a red cardinal meant, someone comes, or butterflies was her thing. And it's ironic. My best friend Lauren Renwick, who I think tall blonde, her mom.
What's her name?
Lauren Renwick.
Hello, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Is this the one that also knows Hernandez?
Yes, of course. Yes.
There's a certain ball cap she used to wear often, I think.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, her and Shannon were always 100%. Like
So
inseparable.
I was talking to TJ the other day about like, so and so's coming on the show and whatever, and I was like, oh, you remember like there was like a tall blonde, and then there was like that redhead that I used to always chat with, and then like, and then I show him pictures, like, oh yeah, I remember them, yeah,
of course. So it was like the trio.
Yeah.
So her mom, when my mother passed, had given me this, like, it's like a stained glass picture of a cardinal, which I was like, that's so ironic. I mean, I know it's like a universal thing, like that's what it means, like, but I had put it on my like the blinds.
Mm-hmm.
So that one particular day I was like closing out the blinds, and right at the end, like, I just looked, and I looked at the cardinal, and it was like, obviously I wasn't looking at a real cardinal outside. It was nothing, but it was just like this moment that I had where I was like, oh, like, it was almost like, to me, it was like a sign, like my mom was trying to like say, like, this is me doing this. And that's what I took it as, and whatever, I'm like, I'm going with this, because I've never really gone to that way. Like, some people live their life like, oh, this is God, this is my parents, this is that. But I was like, oh, like I was the last one that I was, and there it was, and it was staring at me in the face, and I was like, wow, this is pretty powerful. So for me, that was like a sign.
Phenomenal. I'm 100% into all that stuff. I don't live my life by it, but I am open to it.
Right.
And there's a couple of situations that have happened for me, and I strongly believe that my father is up there watching over me and helping and keeping me safe and all that sort of stuff. And I try to talk to him daily.
That's nice. I need to do better.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah, it just is what it is for me. I believe in it. And it's funny because certain things have happened in my life. The first example is just like kind of silly-ish, but on my trip around the world, I was in the Negev desert, right? This is a crater, one of the craters in the world. And this desert is hot as fuck, let me tell you. And I didn't listen to what they said, which was, you got to get up there super early because by a certain time of the day, it's going to be hot, whatever. I was out of water. What I had was like probably about 2 hours left. It was the worst situation in my entire life. I thought I was going to die. But I had these two flies that were literally just circling me the entire time. And the whole time in my head, I was like, well, that's just my parents. It's just my parents telling me to keep going. You're going to be fine. And both my parents at this time were alive.
Yeah.
And that was just in my head. I didn't think the thought. The thought just came into my head that, oh, that's just my parents are guiding me. And then since then, a lot of stuff have happened in my life where transition is needed. And a dragonfly is a symbolism for transformation.
Okay.
Because a dragonfly's life is very short. Its growing stage is longer than I believe the life of the dragonfly. Oh. And I was and dragonflies are usually around water.
Okay.
That's pretty much a given, right?
Yeah.
And so I was driving down Dixie one day, and I forget what it was that was going on in my head, but there was something monumental in my brain that I needed to figure out. And I'm at a light, and I shit you not, this dragonfly just all of a sudden just stops right in the middle of my windshield, just like literally right there, like just boom, 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 and then gone.
Well,
and it was
cool.
an instant feeling in my entire body, like goosebumps,
Right.
and I was like, fuck it, okay, that's it, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I believe in that stuff
Okay,
all
yeah,
the time.
like, I
There's
think
no
you
question.
kinda
Don't be shy of it.
Yeah, like
and
you
don't be
have
worried about saying it
to.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been like weirdly paranoid about that, and even like religion and things like that, because it's just like it's you ever teach their own, and that's what how
Absolutely,
I live.
and there's a
thought-
stigma on it.
Yeah,
the
there
more
can
the
be.
more individuals will speak out loud to their friends about it, the reaction tends to be like, "Oh fuck, here he goes again."
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And because we've heard that the whole time, we are apprehensive of saying it out loud to people.
Totally.
I celebrate zero fucks giving.
Yeah,
I'm going to be me regardless.
That's good.
Once I started getting back into what I call faith, I was a bit apprehensive to say it to individuals.
Yeah.
Now I'm so fucking comfortable with it. It's like, listen, it's what I do to get through my day.
And that's true. And I think we're, as a family, like Alexander just actually converted from, he was Muslim growing up, but not like a practicing, but I grew up Catholic and wasn't practicing. And then he just got baptized in Catholic. So we try to go to church every Sunday and like, bring, some sort of faith into our life. So I think
it doesn't
it's
matter
nice.
which faith you choose.
Right, exactly.
It doesn't matter how much or how little of it.
Yeah.
I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a very strict household, reformed congregation that my parents built. So it was very much part of my life, and I stepped away from it for most of my life once I moved out. And it was a friend of mine who is a Christian background that brought me back into faith, and not his faith,
Right, just faith in general.
you
Yeah,
know?
and that's what I think is important.
And I implemented praying in the morning and praying in the evening, and it's not even been a year.
Yeah.
And so many amazing things have happened. The one amazing thing, which my life is a fucking roller coaster. Jobs come and go, money comes and go.
Yeah.
But by having my faith and knowing that,
Somebody has your back or like looking out for you.
stress less.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be fine.
Gonna be okay.
Absolutely.
That's
and I shit
true.
you not, every single time. The closer I get to becoming stressed, I just have that thought like, no, you're good. He's got you. There's no stress. And then the day's easier.
Are you cooking still?
I am. So I'm still a private chef on yachts.
Okay.
I've done the past 3 years, I've done a lot of freelance work.
Okay.
I took a couple of jobs that were permanent and they didn't work out, whether I didn't like the vessel or the situation or I wasn't what they were looking for.
Yeah.
Food's never been the issue. It's
Right.
personalities sometimes.
Yeah, I know some people that actually know a few girls that work on yachts.
And it's nightmares.
Interesting.
It's
yeah.
nightmares sometimes. The money's good.
Yeah.
The money is allowing me to create a company from scratch with zero investors, with zero backing from anything.
That's
It's
great.
literally just my own pocket money. But there's times that I don't have. People think it's weird because I get paid a shit ton of money. Facts.
Yep.
To do what I do, to cook food, I
yeah.
get paid a shit ton of money. But there are many times where I don't have money for food for myself. I got my mom that I take care of. First and foremost, that is like off the top
Is she
right there.
here?
No, she's in Canada.
Oh, okay.
So I'm here because I get to come in and out of port with the boats.
Yeah.
So it's like, thank God for that
Yeah.
because it's money that I need. But the first part of my paycheck goes off to that. Second
Okay.
part of my paycheck goes off to my business.
Yep.
Building a business is not cheap.
And I did the same thing. I didn't want to like get loans or do
No,
anything, so I had like taken what I
Build
had
it on your own.
saved and
Yeah. So I'm out of savings.
yeah.
I'm out of stocks.
Yeah.
I'm out of everything. I'm
But hey,
literally
you got
my
this.
paycheck only. And there are scary moments where I don't have money to eat.
Yeah.
As odd as that is, but that's where my boys come into play.
Yeah, you have such a great support
It's
system.
phenomenal.
It's
My day
very
one,
healthy too.
my day one, TJ Vela.
Yeah.
I tell you, that kid
Yeah.
just saves my life most days, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and again, like when there's no job for a period of time that I don't know how long that period of time is, I'm in that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that's because, well, I mean, you also like kind of went back to what you were saying to me, like you've put in the work, you are successful at what you do. So there is like some sort of, you get to a point in your life where you're like, it's not like it used to be. Like, you're going to be able to fall back on something. Like, worst case, you can go work at Cracker Barrel, I guess.
Well, I can't in America because I'm Canadian, right? Because it's only because I work on boats that I have the visa that I have to come in and out.
I got it.
But worst case scenario, I could fly back to Canada.
True.
Anytime I wanted to.
Yep.
I can go get a dishwashing job.
Yeah.
Worst case, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have to
absolute
get
worst case.
I wouldn't have to get that, but
Right.
I could walk into any kitchen.
Yeah.
I could probably walk into most restaurants and get a higher up management job because of my experience.
Yeah.
But what I do is I take that knowledge like you did from the corporate business and you started your own company knowing that you were going to be successful.
Yeah.
We became successful at what we did for a long period of time and we became the person that is like, okay, well, yeah, they can do that job.
Yeah.
Well, my theory is we'll just put in the same amount of time and effort into this and in time, that same success will be there.
Yeah.
Right? Like all I got to do is enjoy the process.
Yeah, no, it's very true. And I like with so I had like the first location and the second location, now the third, and the second location has taken more time and it's a big space. It's 4,000 square feet. My husband, bless his heart, like he's got the bird's eye view of what I do and the business and stuff. And he, wants to get involved, which I love. And then I'm like, it's a whole different animal, like in your guy. But anyways, my point is he's like, that one, it just needs to do better. And I'm, like you, I'm like, it's going to take time. Like it doesn't happen overnight. And the potential that's there, like you said, like Rome wasn't built in the day. Like you gotta wait. I gotta wait for the right people to come in. It's gonna grow. At one point it was a thriving hair salon and it ended up having like a tarnished reputation. Like another company came in and it, made it bad. So now I'm like picking up the pieces, which the other locations didn't have that. So it's been easier.
Another learning experience.
Yeah.
Then,
like
to go from down to up.
Yeah. Because I kind of went in there like, oh, it's just going to be just as popular. Like I'm just going to open the doors and they're going to come flooding, and it just didn't happen. But I'm like, you just got to stick it out, and it's not going to be overnight. It's going to take a while. And, that's like, it's like an investment I look at. Like it's going to, put a small pot in there, and then in 10, 15 years, hopefully that's grown to be, a nice little nest egg. And there's more potential there than there is at the other one. So I'm like, I'm willing to wait it out as long as it's not like, obviously like.
A strong oak tree doesn't become a strong oak tree without the right seeds and watering it over time.
Yeah,
right?
I like that. Yeah.
That's just the way it is. And like what you said earlier about the generation, we all, it's a huge topic right now, talking about the generation now, which I feel like most generations have had that comment. Like I'm sure our parents said,
Probably.
"Oh, the generation now."
Totally.
I agree with you with the aspect of they want things now. They want the instant gratification. They think they should be paid this. They think they should, have the overnight success and whatnot. But I think having people like yourself out there in the world and showing them. So like obviously a lot of your staff, there's probably a mix of people, your age with kids and then younger people as well.
But we are attracting like a ton of young, like we have a big young, I guess, employee base, so you want to call it, like, which I love. And it's like, I love that like the young hip girls want to work with these moms,
awesome.
Because it's funny, like I feel like it was just yesterday we were like hitting up Clematis, and
we were
I was the young hip. I was the young hip one,
100%.
but like totally not anymore. I'm an old mom, and I love.
But you're not.
No,
but you're
I'm
not.
No,
you like, it's the thought of, okay, I have kids now. I'm of a certain years.
Yeah.
So I feel like I should be this old mom now, and I don't connect with the young. But you are the opposite of that.
Yeah. Oh.
Because but think about it. You have a business that is actually dedicated. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of young single moms.
Totally. Yeah.
And you're dedicating your life and your passion to them.
Yeah.
So you have that connection with them, and it's not like you're out of style. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to say, like being a hairdresser or a hairstylist, you kind of stay in that hipness.
Yeah, I think, and then like I joke, but like being around the young girls, like I love it too, because like little things they'll be like, you see, I'm like, why are you wearing that? And it's like, oh, that must be coming in style.
Is that
like
the new?
Yeah, like I don't have a high school kid or a college kid, so I don't know what's really, I'm not like completely like oblivious. I'm not like at home like in my pajamas all day. Like
would be nice though.
Some people, yeah, exactly. Well, like some moms, like can't, like failure to thrive type thing. But like no, I'm definitely like more hip, I guess you could say. But they keep me young, and I hope that we continue to have like pull from the bottom and like have the young girls, because think it works in both ways. Like I can teach them and they can teach
You're
me.
going to educate them so wonderfully, because if they take the time to get to know their boss, right, the person that's employing them, and really get to know how much work you've put in to both careers to get you to where you are, I think they'll have, like, more young people need to be around people that have done it, so that they can understand what it's going to take.
True.
And that's what we're doing here. We want to help everyone from all ages. We just took a look at our analytics, and without even knowing it, we're hitting the age ranges that we want.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Like, I couldn't believe I saw it. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But it's that mix of young 20 to 30, and then the 30 to 45.
Yeah, I think that it's important for them to listen and hear, like, the background or the struggles, I guess you could say, of as people. I think that's such a cool story, and it was always a goal of mine. Like, I hope I get to be successful to the point where I can, like, tell my story in a way of, like, how...
You're educating.
Yeah.
You're not teaching. You're
educating and, like, inspiring, I hope,
young
people that... Yeah, like, especially when you're not, like, given it. Like, I wasn't given anything. Like, my parents, I didn't come from money. I didn't come from anything. People probably think, like, when my parents passed, I got all this, like, big fortune. I got nothing. Yeah. So, yeah, everything that I've gotten, like, I got into real estate. I bought and sold my own houses. I literally, like, did it with my own hands. So, like, I'm a worker bee, which is, like, a lot of why I've been able to, like, I am where I'm at now, and I think, like, the future is only going to be better.
Absolutely, because you're not going to stop. You're going to keep growing, and you're going to get more. I can see this being a multi-state. I
hope.
Spa,
I know people have, like, reached out, and I'm like, I'm not ready for that yet. But I think.
But boom, they've already reached out to you.
They
for
have,
sure.
like, people that I know, and I don't. And people have mentioned, like, get with a. Whatever the attorney is, like a franchise
Absolutely
attorney
have to.
and stuff.
No,
I do.
1,000%. But it's intellectual property, I think. Patent. You can find a lawyer that probably does it all. By the way, you already know one.
Who?
I'm going to forget his name right now, and I feel so bad. John's lawyer.
Okay, I'll find it.
I have it in my phone.
Okay.
I will give it to you. He's a patent lawyer.
Okay.
One of many things that he does.
That's what I need, yeah.
Well, you need to have a conversation with him so he can direct you if it's not him himself.
Okay.
Who to go to here in the state of Florida. But absolutely.
I remember I met with somebody when at first, like, this guy approached me. He's like, you gotta patent this. I guess you can't patent a service. It's like the name. I could copyright the name. I've learned a little bit.
Well, you can get a registered trademark for the name.
Yes.
Okay, and that takes a while because I'm literally 4 years into doing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good
it's
to
crazy.
know.
It's crazy. And you can do it, like, just in America. You can do it Canada and America. You can go international. It just depends on how much you want to give the lawyer, because the lawyers are super expensive. And then, you need to talk to someone to find out exactly what it is that you need to do in order to keep your stuff safe.
Well, I remember them saying at the time, like, well, you kind of want to wait until you have, like, 2 or 3 to, like, prove. And now, like, I'm like, oh, here I am. Shoot, now, like, it's funny how, I do. There's a lot of things that I want to do. So I'm like, it's exciting. Yeah.
So you made a comment just a moment ago. You said a phrase, failure to thrive. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because it was brought to my attention, which in, like, a negative light, where, like, someone, like my mother, like, when I talked about, her passing, and, like, my father, so they were married for 25, 30 years, like, literally like this, like, if they wouldn't go to the grocery store without each other. And it was cute, but a little annoying too. And, it was a blessing because, you had this, like, stable marriage, but then, like, when my father passed away, my mother literally, like, couldn't live, like, failure to thrive. So that's like older women, or like, it's more like older people, like, when I asked, they're like, what happened? And I heard that term a couple of times, like, failure to thrive. And I was like, that's a great way of putting it. Like, I was like, Mom, you gotta, like, let's try tennis. Let's try, why don't you go walking? Like, she moved in with me. Like, I literally, I was taking care of her. And it was so frustrating because I was, I wanted her to eat healthy and exercise and do things more than she did. So she was, like, in a sense, killing herself because she was so unhappy and depressed. But yeah, I guess it's a term with the failure to thrive as, like, in the sense of, like, a death, I guess, maybe. I don't know what the term comes from, but then, like, you think of it, like, with women, that I think, like, the stigma, like, some moms just get, like, they lean on it too much, I think. I'm not to be rude and knock some of them. This is just my opinion. Yeah. That, like, you think, like, once you have kids, your life is over, and, like, you're just, like, you can't do your hair, you can't do your makeup, you're just, like, failure to thrive. Like you can't. And it's just like so opposite because it's just all in what you make of it. And it's very possible to like completely live your life, have a great life and successful life with children. And it's, you know, I obviously have 3 of them. So I know when they're all young, like
you have 3
newborn,
of them and you have, co-workers that have
plenty of them, and
everyone's thriving.
And it's funny, like the manager, she's an amazing person that I have, and she's become a good friend of mine, but it was just through business. And she has 2 young kids, and you know she manages these stylists, and that's a full-time job. I mean, that's like one of the harder jobs I think you can have, because a lot of the girls, like, you know, not that I don't think college matters in many ways, but like they're not educated, and in some cases, like literally, like just like I'm an artist. Like luckily we have like some really stable ones. I think we have a really great team, so I'm not knocking anyone, and I'm not knocking hairdressers, but it's just that like managing them can be tough. And you know, you get these, you know, a 22-year-old that like comes, we've gone through them, they're no longer with us, but like they'd come to work, you know, 15 minutes late all the time. There's like no makeup, no hair. And they would like have the nerve to like even say to like her, you know, oh, this and this and this. And she's like, listen, I have 2 kids. I'm here when I'm supposed to be. I got my makeup on, my hair done. I'm looking presentable. Like there's no excuse. And it's so true, because some people just like, you just can't figure it out.
Some people just don't, they're not, I'm not sure what word I want to use here. They're not aware yet.
Yeah,
they don't
probably
have self-awareness, because I'm not a hairdresser. I'm not a cosmetologist.
Yeah.
But one would think it would be second nature that, hey, if I'm going to work for hair and makeup,
yes,
I would be presentable.
Thank you.
You would just think that would be a given, right? Like
right? That's
class
what
101.
Well, and it's like, I don't know the way the world is right now. I had a consultant that came in. I'm like, can you tell someone you have to wear makeup and do your hair? Like, where is that? Like,
right. What is the HR
we battle
situation?
that almost like
right,
a lot, because you would think, and like, but we have to have that conversation. Like, there's this one girl, and she's like, but you know, it's natural beauty, and I'm like, you're naturally beautiful, totally, but like you're working in an environment like this is what you're selling, essentially, hair and beauty. So like, if you're not doing your hair or your makeup, like, you got to think like, and it's not like this person is a seasoned stylist with a ton of clients. Like this is a brand new stylist that's like just expecting the world to just fall in her lap. And I'm like, you know, if you're not going to do your hair and put on makeup on a given day, like you clearly like aren't focused on you're not trying.
It doesn't make sense. I would imagine it's a tough line if you don't know what you're allowed to tell your employee legally.
Yeah. I mean, I'm told you can say like, you can tell them that, but like, I don't know. I just feel like it's
you would
tough.
think there's certain things are just like a given.
It's like, how do you look at someone and be like, oh, you didn't put makeup on today. What if they did? Like, you know, it's just like it's a tough subject.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, it's like, have a fucking brain.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not going to go to a job. Yeah. Like I want to use another example in another field, but it's like, if you're going to go sell radios, you're not going to show up without the radio.
Yeah,
it just wouldn't make sense. Like, how would you sell that to somebody?
Yeah.
If I'm sitting in the chair and I want to get like a really cool hair done, like I would hope to God that the person doing it did their hair.
Yeah, like
at least showered,
like, at least showered
and looked presentable.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's where it's just, to me, like, I didn't think of it at first. It's like a red flag, you know, back to like, you know, work ethic and like, what are you doing here? Like, is this like, how much effort are you really putting into this?
Right.
Like
do you want
this is your job, and like the bare minimum that you could do, that you have control over, is how you present yourself and how you look and how are you trying?
Yeah.
And like, to me, that's
showing
hard.
up on time thing, that's weird to me.
Yeah, well, that's a big thing.
And I don't know if I think that's always been there for certain people. Certain personalities just don't get the idea. Now, listen, I have a huge thing against time. Only because I like, who the fuck invented time?
Seriously.
Right? I do have like, why do I have to be somewhere at this time? Because you tell me to. So I have that aspect of it. But on the flip side, because society states that this is a thing, I understand it. And my dad taught me that like being 15 minutes early means you're on time.
Yeah,
being
that's
on
a good
time
way to do it.
is you're late.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good.
Because let's think about it. When you show up to work, you don't go straight to work.
Right.
No one does.
No.
You show up, you start shooting the shit, right? Fixing up your station or what have you. Even in the kitchen, you know, you show up, usually you have to still go to the change room and change. Then you get on the line and like, hey, blah, 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 you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, yo, dude, 5 minutes ago, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So it's like 15 minutes early.
It's smart.
Would give you that time to take your time to get ready, check your phone one more time, because that's part of our life right now, and then get to the task. I don't know how to fix that in younger people.
I don't know either.
Even in
I
older
think,
people.
Yeah, like I keep on saying, you know, I'm fortunate, and maybe it all goes to the same thing, like whatever, you know, God has given me. But yeah, like we do. Our team right now is solid, and you know, I feel like I'm too nice of a person a lot of times, which is good that I have my manager that I have. It's like good cop, bad cop some days. But we've been able to weed out, or you know, it's funny, they almost weed themselves out. Like I really like, I've learned that the most. I didn't have the management experience, like I was telling you earlier. Like that was like the next step, and I've never managed anybody. I mean, I manage like my crazy friends, like I manage my kids, I manage my husband, but I never managed staff, and that's been hard for me to learn, and I feel bad a lot of times. But it's like, it's funny, you don't really have to manage it. Like the weak ones you don't really have to push it too much. They get out.
Feeling bad is because you're a good person. You want the best for everybody.
Yeah, it's hard.
But you couldn't have said it better. We will always give people enough rope to take care of themselves.
It's true.
It is. Because you can only bang your head against the wall so many times in hopes that the other person will catch on.
Yeah, it's true.
If they don't, over a certain period of time, eventually you have to cut your losses.
Yeah, you do.
That's just the way it is. But you usually don't have to, because they usually do it themselves.
Yeah,
and then it's
been
easy.
Amazing. And it's
Yeah.
honest. There's been some situations too, hindsight, I'm like, thank the Lord thank the universe, thank anybody, because wow, like I would have never had the guts to cut them out. And they, you know, someone came in and cut them out.
Yeah. Well, the business world is tough. I'm still a novice at it. I'm not like this like juggernaut of knowledge of business. I know what I know, but I do know that it is a cutthroat situation to get to the top.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you do need to remember, and this is something I had to learn over the first 2 years that I've been doing this, is like you can't always be their friend.
I know.
Sometimes you got to separate it.
Which has been hard.
Yeah, I've loved everyone I've worked with, but at the beginning, I was too much worried of the friendship rather than, fuck, this is my business.
Yeah, no, it's very true. And I brought one friend in, and I'm considering bringing in another one, which it would hopefully make sense. But it's scary because it does change it. And actually something happened within their personal life that now, like, it's causing, you know, anyway, so one of my other friends, like, had said something to her, like, you know, Kelly's your boss, and I was like, wow, I don't look at it like that, but I am, but, like, there's no interaction like that, like, it's not like, you know, she's a successful hairdresser, and I happen to own the business, and, you know, we coexist, but it does, like, no matter what, change the dynamic, and I know that everyone always says, like, don't mix business with...
It's tough.
Friendships and
Absolutely.
things like that,
Yeah.
so I've been a little bit mindful of that, but as we grow and like I have this network of like amazing friends and girls that are, you know, I don't think they were ready to jump ship and like with their careers at the beginning, but now it's like, oh, I can pay you XYZ. It's hard to not want to like pull from your friends.
Well, yeah, because if they're true friends, you want to spend time with them.
Yeah, and
you're
that's
a mom, you're a business
it's kind of the easier
lady.
way. Like, you know, back in the day, like my close friends, like it was going out all the time, and we were able to like stay up till all hours of the night, hanging out and shooting the shit. But now we don't have that. Like we'll do dinners and girls' dinners and blah blah blah. But like, it's not the same. I'm just not going out like I used to.
I don't go out at all
Okay,
anymore.
me neither. I don't
Yeah,
think.
like, you say, I was like,
Okay,
you
I
don't
don't
mean
know.
that much. I'm like,
Do you
3
not?
kids.
Do you not?
I
didn't
gotta be
know.
honest with you.
I don't know because I wouldn't be there to know.
in the past almost year, let's say, I could say it, less than the amount of fingers I have. In the
Wow,
past
that's
year.
a huge. So what
Yeah.
made you change that?
Well, let's be honest. I was an alcoholic before.
Okay, so I was like, I didn't
That
know. I
was
mean,
just
you know,
like, yeah, no, the audience knows that because
Okay.
I'm totally fine with sharing it. I always say this: I never stole money. I was never late for work.
Right.
I didn't drink while working.
Right.
But the moment I finished work, I was at the bar.
Right.
No one ever.
You and a lot of people,
Yeah, but think about the amount of time that
Yeah.
people knew me back then. They didn't have to worry about messaging me, calling me, texting me, anything. They would just go to the pub
Yeah.
and they would see me, and I was there 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Probably twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday.
Right.
I wasn't drinking to be social. I was drinking 12 pint glasses of Jack Daniels till I was. Yeah, I'd go home and pass out. That was my life. You know, fast forward now, I'm trying to create a business out of thin air.
Yeah.
I'm trying to create a business where I don't actually have anything tangible yet for someone to purchase.
Yeah.
I'm literally just trying to earn your time. Literally just trying to earn an hour or so once a week from you. Maybe 30 seconds every other single day through social media platforms.
Yeah, of
so that
course.
you know that I'm doing something once a week for 2 hours, an hour and a half, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's responsibilities.
It changes
mindset
you. I love
change.
that.
Yeah.
And I give you a lot of credit because not everybody can do that. And I think once you do, though, it's like so much more fulfilling, I guess is the word. What's the
100%.
word? Like, yeah,
Purposeful.
like you don't there's just a different, I mean, you know, I'm sure Alex talked about his story and stuff, but like, yeah, like we've like totally changed our life in that way. And it wasn't like a, you know, a come to Jesus thing like we needed to. It's just like kind of happened. Well, his did, but you know, for me, I just like, I don't find room for it. And when I do find room for it, I find it to be an inconvenience because like for me, of course, I have like a 7 a.m., you know, little babies knocking on my door and it's like, I don't need to be hungover for that. But like once you start to like, I think professionally, or I think maybe like going, I don't know if you can agree with this, like going to the bar was like, we were filling a void. Like it was like we didn't have anything to fill. Like it was like, that's what you do. And like, I see a lot of my friends still doing it. Like fortunately for me and for you and, you know, eventually for everybody, hopefully, you know, you find that we fill that void. So for me, like starting this business was like, I enjoyed it. Like it wasn't work anymore. It's like, I really want to do this. So like I was, you know, like I was saying, I don't watch TV shows. I'm on my computer, I'm working, but it's not work when you love to do it. And it's like, you know that it's like something bigger.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
right?
sitting here quietly because you're literally like saying everything that we talk about.
Okay, yeah.
This is
it
check mark.
You just have to like find, I can look at the camera.
Yeah.
No, you have to like find what you want to do. Like what's your passion? And it's so hard. So it's not like, oh, I'm sure, you know, we both heard this growing up. Like just find your passion. Like, yeah, okay. Like I'm gonna pull it out of my ass. Like it's not that easy. But I knew, like you said, there was, you'll know because it's like, always
It's what
at you.
makes you
It's like
smile.
at you, yeah. Like the hairdresser, I was like, I'm not gonna freaking go. And like, thank God I didn't do it the way that I was considering. Like going back to cosmetology, I was like, I'm not gonna go with a bunch of 18-year-olds and go full time, spend $10,000, and then I'll have to like start a whole like from the bottom up when I'm making, you know, 6 figures or more here. Like that's stupid. But it was my passion. So now, like,
You figured out a way to involve it in your life.
And a lot of people have, I think, passions.
Yeah.
that they
What
can do.
you were not fiscally irresponsible, which is what we talk about.
Okay.
And you had a career that if it didn't work out, you still were okay.
Right.
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know it's hard though
Yeah.
sometimes because I think people,
Going after your passion is scary as fuck because you're putting yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And you're doing something that may not succeed
Yeah.
if you think it may not succeed.
That's good.
It's all about the mindset.
Okay.
If you believe, I mean like without a fucking doubt, believe
Yeah.
in yourself,
Okay.
it'll fucking happen.
Well, that's good to hear. 'Cause,
No, it
yeah,
will.
it's-
I mean, look
it's
at you now.
happening,
You have
yeah.
3 fucking locations.
I know, but like, there's always still like that part of me that's like, God, what if, like, what if?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe that's just a natural worry.
Some people just have that. Absolutely.
You have to worry, but like, yeah, at this point, like, I don't think there's anything holding me. Like, there's nothing that's gonna crash down.
The only thing that holds you back is yourself.
Yeah.
The only limitation I believe that we have in life is ourselves.
Yeah,
That's
which
it.
is why a lot of people don't fill that void and they're still at the bar maybe, and then not
Well,
knocking
like you
them.
said,
I'm not trying.
failure to thrive. I'll
Yeah,
bring it back
there
to
you
your
go.
point.
So have you heard that term before?
I've not before
Okay.
today. That's why when you said it, I was like, oh, fuck, I got to ask her about that.
Yeah, and it's like, again, I was probably making up the definition, so you can look it up
That's
after.
fine. They'll
No,
look
but
it
I
up.
know-
They'll Google right after. You know, be like, oh, failure to thrive.
Failure to thrive. Yeah, no, but it is. It's you can use it in a lot of different things, I think. But yeah, and then maybe, you know, not everybody teach their own. So hopefully, you know, if they do like to go to the bars and they find fulfillment in
Nothing
that,
wrong with it. We did it for years.
We did it for years.
And we still go once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like we've become
I'm not like a
hermits.
Yeah.
And like we don't do anything ever.
No.
I say that I'm a bit of a hermit now because, like you said, I don't watch regular TV. I don't remember the last time I watched. I don't know if they have regular TV anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying I don't, because on occasion I will just crash on the couch with TJ and we'll just throw something on Netflix or
of course.
Hulu or whatever the platform is. Usually a documentary on someone's life, because I'm all about learning
more things.
I sit in front of my laptop. I spend hours watching other podcasts, other interview shows, so that I can learn what to do, how to do it better. But you
enjoy it, right?
I fucking love it. No, I absolutely love it. I shouldn't say it. You will always have to do the boring work.
Totally. There's things that I don't like to do.
And people never see that. So again, this is going back for the younger generation to understand what's involved to get one to success. What we've had to do is that boring stuff behind closed doors to sustain the success.
Yeah.
I love it from the aspect of, I know by putting in that work and that effort time and time again, and not going downtown with my friends when they go, is going to be beneficial for myself, because it's going to get this to the level that I want.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's unfathomable for other people to understand what's in my brain and my vision for what I'm doing here with Life Choices.
That's awesome.
Multi companies, international type shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is like,
the name is amazing in itself.
Thank you.
I love it. I was so happy and proud of you. You know, when I saw it, I was like, I should have reached out at the time, but I was like, that's awesome that he's doing that. And then, I didn't really know what.
Not everyone feels that way. Not everyone feels that way, which is fine.
Whatever.
Yeah.
F them.
Well, no, I thank them.
Well,
because if they don't understand it and they think it's silly, I say this all the time, they're still out there talking about it.
True. No,
and that's
I
all
agree.
I care about.
And they say, they do say that, like, negative.
Bring it, say it, keep doing it.
I mean, we got that so much. You know how many people talk shit about me
Absolutely.
at the beginning? They're like, she doesn't do hair.
Yeah, what is she? She's not a hairstylist. She does like fucking corporate shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, she doesn't know what she's doing. Okay, cool, thanks. And then like the buzz.
Bring it all in.
Yeah,
put it under the fire.
But
Let's
I mean,
go.
it also fueled me like, all right, I better get my cosmetology license. Like,
well, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it all worked out. So that's
and what you said a moment ago about, like, you know, finding your passion, it's not easy.
No,
you know, and a lot of people
it doesn't
don't
just
know
come
what
to
it
you.
is. No, but by having different people in that chair week after week, sharing their stories about where they're at now, where they were before, and what they're doing, the audience, all of the lifers. That's what I'm calling them. That's what I'm going to call them, the lifers. All of them out there that are watching the Life Choices podcast, they're eventually going to see someone that it does kind of ignite something in them and be like, you know what?
Oh,
that's what I want.
Yeah.
Let me look into that. Or let me contact the person, because their stuff, their socials are down below.
Okay.
Maybe I can get into what she's doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach out to her.
Well, that's neat.
And that's the whole point of this, is to help everyone level up.
I literally had no clue what I was like getting. Oh my God. And I didn't ask because I wanted to just kind of come in here green, but and I didn't even get to hear his, so I'm like curious about that too.
This is all we do. We just talk. We just have an intimate conversation about life, about how the person got to where they are now. Yeah. And the guest always brings up the points of what we're based on: mindset, success, discipline, consistency, faith. Yeah, I think all of it.
Yeah, I think mindset is like the biggest thing, because you know, I like not talk too much about my relationship, but that
I mean, you can also, though. You can talk a lot about it.
But that was like my biggest, I think, in life. The moment where like people were like, "Are you effing nuts? Like, what are you doing?" You know, he had a past. He was, not.
We heard all about it.
Okay, good. I don't know how much.
No, we heard all about it.
He was not a good guy in many ways. In some, but I didn't know it. When I met him, I was like, Prince Charming was like,
good looking man.
Yeah, very. Came right after me at the bar, the whole thing. But,
at
there
Brother
was...
Jimmy's?
Yeah, Brother Jimmy's. The good old days. And little did I know he was, like, doing all the things he was supposed to. But I'm like, oh, he's cute. And he was like, he had his eye on me. So, and probably every other girl for the whole, every beginning of the night. But
we have our eyes on everybody until we find the one.
I guess. I mean, our story is very ironic. But, yeah, so, like, even to getting married, like it was one of those things where, it was like overnight. Like I remember calling some friends and I'm like, we're going to get married. Like, we decided it in the car, and they're like, excuse me? Like, again, like,
not having it.
What are you doing,
Yeah.
Kelly? Like, and like, I had some of like my best friends, like Lauren, Shannon, like had to have like the real talk with me. Like, you know, this guy, you know, yeah, like he seems to like have come around and he seems to really love you and he seems to like say he's on the right track, but like, I don't know about this, you know, so that's a life choice that I just went in and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, you gotta trust your gut and trust your instinct. And obviously like nothing's perfect and it's not like, it doesn't mean that it's always going to be perfect. But people, you know, people can change and, you know, you got to take risks in life because otherwise, you know, you might just be at the bar alone.
Yeah, well, it's a valid point. It's a valid fucking point.
Like,
Absolutely.
You gotta like put yourself out there, and that's where like, and for him too, like I'm sure he would still be at the bar, you know, because you know he's grown so much, like his as a person, he's grown tremendously. But you like you see the core in someone, like it's not like, you know, I just picked up some good looking guy in the street. Like I was like, oh, like some people that are troubled like have more
to offer,
like his, like you had said, like his charisma, his soul, like he's such like a big heart, he's like a big teddy bear, and no one knows that until like, you know, because he puts up these like walls or whatever. But then like I'd rather risk my life with someone like that can like is vulnerable and able to give me like the love and attention and passion that I need, but like that, you know, it's great, versus someone that like looks like they have it all together and like corporate America making all this money
and probably doing worse things.
Right, absolutely.
Very possible.
Or just like, yeah, like not treating you right. Yeah. So I mean, I'd rather take like a huge mistreatment from someone like him, I guess, than like living a life of like mediocrity with someone that I'm like there's not like that
someone
connection
who
with.
fits the picture of what you're supposed to go after.
Yeah,
I get
is hard.
it. I didn't know Alex beforehand. I didn't know anything about his past until he sat here.
Wow.
Brief little comments at the gym, but not the big picture.
Yeah.
And this is what I can say. He is a amazing fucking human being.
He is, yeah. He's great.
And the fact you'll see it eventually, or when you're all watching this video, you will have probably already seen his episode, because we're going to slide it in just at the end of like all the other guys that we've already posted.
Right.
We're going to slide them in because it was that great of a conversation before we do the women in business weeks of the summer, basically. And he is a strong, physically person that you would look at and not expect the vulnerability that comes out of him.
That's what I see too.
And amazing that you went forward with it. I'm sure your girlfriends now understand.
Totally, yeah.
Hey, they had to have that conversation.
I mean, but they still are to stay like, don't you ever worry? Like they're in relationships where like, you know, their person's cheating on them or this and that. And they're like, you don't ever worry about.
And we're not talking specifically about the two girls that she just talked about.
No,
in general. So I want to clear that up in case they're watching right now with their guy. Like, what?
True.
Yeah.
Like, how did she know? No.
They always know.
But no, I think, yeah, like they always are like, oh, how do you know, but I guess when you know, and it's like, yeah, I feel very, very fortunate in like professionally and personally that like things are really on the up and up for me, and I can wake up smiling. Like I'm a very happy person, so I hope everybody else gets to get that.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's what we like to share is life is difficult as fuck.
Yeah, totally.
No one gives us the memo as a child saying that, hey, as you grow, like, because as a child you look up at your family or your surroundings that are older, like, oh, I can't wait to be an adult. And it's like, yo, listen here, kid, enjoy being a fucking kid right now.
Yeah,
responsibilities,
I really believe that.
worrying about yourself, like it's not easy when you get older, and the more responsibilities you take on, the more stresses and anxieties you have. Yeah, you know, it's crazy.
It is, and that's why some days, like, luckily I'd probably like don't drink as much or do drugs, because like if I like smoke too much weed, I think I'd start to like get in that paranoid state of like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I'm really like, there has been times where I've been in like a different place, like you just have fleeting moments of like, you start to question things, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like I'm, running these, working for this job. I have, my husband who has, his own things, and then kids, like, whew. But then
even at the height of success,
and happiness,
you can still have those worries.
Yeah, it's natural. But like, I think that's why I'm just like, kind of what you said, you just have to like keep the positive, just keep going and keep believing in yourself and keep believing in finding that positive, and maybe weeding out some of the BS too, which, for me it's hard. Like the whole, like, you make changes and then like with your friendships, like, mine were very much, yours is the same, like very much bar-based friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Or social life. Yeah, social life. But like you still have your friends, which is, I think people worry that they won't have their friends, like their friends are going to go away. And they do in a sense, but like I'm there. I'm sure they talk shit about me and say like, she never does anything anymore, this or that. And it's not the same friendship, but it's okay. I think everyone will be there. And
the real friends, it's very simple. The real friends will be there regardless.
Yeah.
No matter what. No human is perfect, because even your closest friends will say things, and that's fine. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
They in their hearts know who you are.
Yeah.
Right. And I almost started crying when you were like talking about this, because the true friends, no matter what, even if they don't show publicly that they're supporting you, when you go through shit, they'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
And I just posted this, I think, on social like yesterday or the day before, or about a month and a half ago, because that's when this is being aired. It's the friends that are there during your shitty times that are more important. Because everyone can be there and show up for your celebrations.
Yeah, no, it's...
But it's the ones when you're going through the depths of darkness that are beside you that fucking matter.
Yeah.
And I know for a simple fact, and I only have 3 tight as fuck friends. There are 3 more that aren't around as much because of jobs or geography. But the ones that are on the compound, without a doubt, if something bad in my life is happening, they'll fucking be there.
Yeah, that's
no
good.
Fucking
well,
question.
my dad always said it was like a thing, when your dad usually has like these sayings throughout life and then it doesn't apply. I'm like, whatever, Dad. But he always said, like, if you can, when you're older and you can count on one hand, like if you were, I think it was like he would say, like if you were in jail, like who would bail you out? If you can count on one hand, then you're considered a lucky person, because we're young and like you think like I have all these friends, but like who would really be there for you during those times? Like if all this went away and shit hit the fan, like who would, if you can think of on one hand, like and it's true.
That's what I got.
Isn't it true? Like you said 3, like, or you might have 6, but that 6 might not have actually come through.
I want to say there's 4 more. Like if I was in jail or in a situation that was of that amplified amount, Thomas Joan, TJ Vella, hands fucking down. He'll fucking he'll move the fucking earth to make sure I'm fucking safe.
Yeah.
Cameron.
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
Those dudes, if the shit was hitting the fan, they would have my back.
Yeah, that's great.
John Webb.
Yeah.
And then I have Carlos, Stevie Brown.
Oh yeah, I love Steve.
Jamie Crick. So there's 7.
Yeah.
Now everyone's busy, so most of them are like not around all the time. But I know for a fact I have 7 people in my life. I have an example. We were at Sunfest one year. This is probably one of the most hilarious stories. So we're at Sunfest one year, and we're all whatever, having fun. So we're all in the pub, just doing whatever down by that corner that we all hang out. And Tony Close was GM, and undercover cops and other cops had come up to him and had said, there's a guy that's been going around Sunfest stealing like phones and shit like that, whatever. And he's like, he's in there, and we believe that his accomplice is with him. Now, this is all going on outside of the bar, and Tony has no idea who the cops are talking about. Now, I had been talking to somebody who was a friend of somebody else.
Okay.
Right? I just having a conversation.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Anyhow, that person then left, right? And so I'm just standing having a drink, and Tony Close comes down with an undercover cop and 2 other cops, and they come right up to me, like undercover cop in front of me and 2 cops beside him, and Tony's now behind them, and he's got like, what? Yeah. And the cops are asking me to go around the corner, and I go, absolutely not. What's this about? They're like, you need to come with us right now. And I'm like, abso-fucking-lutely not. Like, what's this about? Like, I'm sorry. Like, first off, I'm in my boys' bar.
Yeah.
Right? So there's no fucking way I'm going anywhere with a cop.
Yeah.
Secondly, I'm just like, what the fuck's going on here? And I shit you not, my boys Webb, Cameron, TJ, instantly circle around me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like right there. And John Webb himself is like, nah, not your guy. You've got the wrong fucking guy. And you know John, he'll fucking stand up to a motherfucker.
Totally, yeah.
And he had my back. There was
great.
no question about it. Even Tony instantly, once he saw who they were talking to, was like, no, you guys got the wrong guy here.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it was simmered down. I was actually not even part of the conversation now. Cam, John, Tony, they're all just taking care of this. Yeah, I was just like, that's what it is.
That's amazing.
And that's years ago, you know.
Yeah.
Here I am, like, fucking, I know these boys like 10 years now.
Yeah, I know.
So it is without a doubt. Your dad is so right. One hand is enough.
One hand is, yeah.
And as we move through the bar industry as we did, or the social life that we had, taking that large amount of acquaintances and bringing it down to a small group of friends that matter, that will be there for you, that will support you. Yeah. That is literally what life is about. In my personal opinion.
I think it, and I, our group is similar. Like all the girls that, were out hanging out with you guys and whoever else, like they all, we have a group message called the coolest train wrecks. That'd be fun to share. And it's grown up to like 25 girls. And it's like, cause that we were out on Clematis one day and just a bunch of train wrecks. And, I remember like, something happened and, we were like, God, we're, some about train, like we're probably like Sunday night when we, had to work on Monday and you're still just like raging after
Everybody's
midnight.
Out. Yeah.
Yeah. And, we're like, everyone's just train wrecks. So like, but then we're like, but someone was like, but we're the coolest train wrecks. So like, it was like, we got a group together and now we are. And like, we try to like filter out like, no, you're too proper. Like, you're not a train wreck. You gotta get out. But yeah, you have it together. But no, I still have them all, and we're very much still friends and have it. Like, I look at your group and it's amazing that each of you have like really done your own thing. Like Brian started the Frio thing and then Cam obviously has the garage stuff and then, you're doing this. It's great to see that too. Like getting out of, you start to have your own thing.
You want purpose.
Yeah.
You want something in life that you can leave behind that meant something.
Yeah. You have to find it. And if it's not with a business, then, people can find it other places.
Anywhere. You can literally just go and do charity work. You can go and like go talk to youth, go to a, go give food out at a shelter, like anything of that nature. It doesn't matter what you do as long as in your heart you feel like you're doing something worth it. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where that's like our next step in the business. Well, 2024, I'm like, I need to start, it's such like a growth phase that we're in right now. And I'm like, I need to like align myself with a couple charities, or I'm trying to figure out if I do one or I do multiple, because I have like a few different things that are like important to me. And, so we're like, I need to start giving back and all that, which will be fun. I think it doesn't have to come right away. But I'm learning, like we always like give, if a school asks, can you donate? We're always like, yes, absolutely. We know we're giving back, and we like sponsor, like put our name on the back of like some football jerseys or from high school, I don't know, but we're there doing that. But I really would love to like get with, something and start to.
Yeah, I would love to. I have another person most likely coming on the team in the future, or actually by this point might actually be on the team. Mm-hmm. And she keeps telling me, okay, like, well, what do you want to do in the future? She's like, okay, well, do that now. And one thing that I want to do is I want to go around to whether it be like youth camps or whatever, mm-hmm. or halfway houses and stuff mm-hmm. like that. Like, not that I'm in either sense understanding fully where they're at on mm-hmm. depending on the situation, but just to go and talk.
Yeah.
Just to go.
You are a good speaker.
Oh,
you definitely have that. Yeah. So
and I just want to share with people, like it doesn't matter where you've come from. It doesn't matter what you've gone through. Mm-hmm. There is tomorrow.
Totally.
If you want to work at it. And there's always somebody out there that's willing to listen.
Yeah. And that's where like, I think it's really important. I think like people, like my husband has a much deeper, story, like when it comes to like going from the bottom to the top type thing, or not top, but getting there. So I think when you have that kind of a story and, like yourself, like it's important to go share.
Absolutely.
And do that. And he's starting to like get into that a little bit, which is good. And I think it's important.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing is important for me, at least, is I don't regret anything I've done in my life. I know I've been a bad person in the past, and I know I went down, drinking and wanting to see the bottom of a bottle regularly. It made me into who I am.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to educate other people, even like, you know, people that are working with you is like educating them on being like on time and like, you know, being more aware and not like, it's educating people to help them get there, but understanding that they themselves might slip up as well.
Yeah.
And if they do, it's not a big deal. You know, don't go too far down it, you know, just always have that lifeline, you know.
Yeah. It's a slippery slope, I guess. Yeah. No, it's important. And I think I was just thinking, because there's so many things like I want to do, you know, and even like when you're saying things now, I'm like, oh, I really want to do that. And I really think now that I'm thinking about it, like it would be nice to put more effort into, you know, kind of working with them on not just the hair world, but like personal, like, you know, how do you say it? It's not personal, but like teaching them, you know, money management, teaching them, you know, being on time, teaching them life choices,
Yes,
life lessons, you know, skills. Thank you. That's the term. So like how to incorporate that. We try to do every month, we do some sort of either team building or a training. So I hope that they look at that like a positive, because, you know, we're investing time and money into them. And, you know, you have people that are, some of them that are gung-ho to be there, and some of them that seem to make an excuse that they can't be there.
Yeah. But as long as you reach one of them, then the job's done.
Well, that's good. And that makes me feel better.
Because in the future, I'm going to take Life Choices. A big dream of mine is to go to go do school tours, basically do talks at different schools, whether it's grade schools or universities or what have you. I want that's the level of success that I want, is to be reached out and asked to come and speak and tell my story, so that
like a TED Talk.
Yeah, sure. Like it don't matter to me.
I don't know much about TED Talk.
Yeah, I just want to reach as many people as possible. Yeah. But if I'm put in the form of a university or a grade school or a high school auditorium, if there's one kid in that whole room, if there's one human being in that whole room, that their life can be changed for the positive, that is literally my success. I
think you're onto something. That's very true, and it's easy for us to like get down on or you get. The negatives can, like, when you hear one person say like, oh, I don't want to come in on my day off or something, and then you're like, oh, am I like making people do, we used to say mandatory trainings, and you know, because it's important, you know, but I don't want to make anything mandatory. And like we, you know, there's this whole thing within the salon world about non-competes, and like, you know, I never believed in it, and I was like, no, if they want to go, they can go next door for all I care. Like that, you know, that's
fair enough. Don't use the word mandatory. If they choose not to come, then it's clear as day they don't want to be part of your company. Well, that's
exactly, 100%. Yeah. And that's, I gotta figure out a way to like communicate that.
Well, you can do it in a soft way, but also on the flip side of that, day off? What the fuck's a day off? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Like, you work corporate business, you open up your own company that creates another business and another business, 3 children, personal life, husband-wife life, day off?
I know. Yeah, it's kind
like,
of rude.
Wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's all nice and dandy. We all say we want weekends off and vacation.
Always, we had this thing, it was like a couple summers ago before in the salon, and we would be doing hair and laughing and, you know, had a great team at the time. And it was always like when people were just like, ugh. And I'm not behind the chair as much as that's the term, like being, you know, doing hair. As much, so I don't get to enjoy this part, but it would be like, we would say, like, be nicer, try hard, work harder, do more. Like, it was always like there'd be something that come up and we're like, work harder, or, you know, we'd just like say comments to each other, like, be nicer, because people would just come in nasty, or like people, you know, just excuses. And it's like, I was like, I just need to create this like as our motto, or like our tagline, like, you just gotta and be nicer is a lot of it, because some people are just so negative and nasty, and you're just like, you really have to, how do you go through life like that? Because
you feel sorry for those people.
I know, but it worked. And that's where sometimes I'm like, God, would I be further along with certain things if I was bitchier is the term? No. I don't know. I hope not. But some people take advantage of your kindness.
Yeah. There's two flip sides to that. Like we said, like in business, it's cutthroat, so you need to be bitchy or a dick or whatever. But at the same time, I believe it's, you know, honey versus vinegar type thing. But then you're right as well. people take
advantage of you.
It's finding the happy medium for yourself, I think, and whatever you do that allows you to go to bed at night feeling good about yourself, that you've done good.
I think I'm at the point in my life where I do need to, I need to figure out, or I need to like read a book, or like do some sort of, I need to learn a little bit more on how to be the bad cop side of like it's quite the concept of like, you know, how people, I envy them. Yeah, like the ones that can, do you know what I'm saying?
I
like
do.
That
listen, I like to think of myself as a very nice, calm, relaxed individual.
I think of you as that too.
Thank you. Tice, on the other hand, may disagree with you at times.
Okay.
Because I give him hard love.
Okay, well
that's what it is.
So maybe you figured that out more than I have.
This is what it is. We figured this out the other day, and I figured this out because it's something I came across on social media or somewhere. Mm-hmm. And it's the fact that when you're being a dick, mm-hmm. we'll call it that right now, when you're being an asshole, you have to the other person has to think of why they're being an asshole. I'm being an asshole because I'm not afraid to lose what I'm being an asshole to. Yeah. Okay? Because I'm willing to be an asshole. I'm willing to lose it for the point to get across to you so that you can become better. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So sometimes your closest friends are the ones that tell you, fuck no, dude, you're being...
I'm fine with my friends. Okay. I mean, like, if anything, my friends would be like, oh God, you don't want to cross her. Like, mm-hmm. In person, like, I'm not afraid to, like, stand up. But it's just, it's because the work environment.
In your friends, you know you're able to do that. Like, if you're doing it to them, mm-hmm. you know that because you're not afraid of losing them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're not afraid of losing that person. And therefore, you're going to tell them exactly how you feel because you know that's being a better friend than just sitting there quietly and not saying something. Yes. Right? Yes. Well, do the same thing to your employees. Yeah. Okay. Right? If they really can't handle it, they're going to leave. Yeah. Which means they're not an employee that you wanted anyways. I know,
that's a lot. I put a lot of resources, financial resources into, we like partner with this consulting group, which, you know, was a great thing for me. I needed it. They, you know, they'd been in the salon world for 20 years, and it's like a whole consulting group, expensive, this and that. But it was worth every penny because it did teach me a lot of that, and I think I need to like continue to actually just sign back up for a couple. But yeah, things like that it's hard. It's a fine line of like mm-hmm. being, you know, too nice versus, I think that's the problem, you know, even in my company now where the manager can be tough, but like I always say, she is the nicest person. If she's tough, it's because you're not doing your job. Or it's because she listens to bullshit from a client that's like, oh, I can't make my appointment in 10 minutes because I got a flat tire. Or like, oh, I didn't know I had that appointment. It's like, no, you got a 48-hour, 24-hour confirmation. We texted you. Like, no. Like bullshit. Like she has like no filter for bullshit, which sometimes can come off as like very harsh because she's like, no. Like your card's getting charged 50%, or like in the client stylist, like it says it how it is. But it's like it's like mm-hmm. it's the truth. Absolutely. Like she's not sugarcoating it. I get it. She could maybe put a little sugar on it, and I probably could put a little salt on my sugar.
Yeah. I mean, whatever it takes, but it's you have self-awareness where you know what you have to work on. Yeah. And this is a perfect example of like, yes, successful, but still learning. Yeah. No matter what. So it doesn't matter how successful someone is. Yeah, no. There's an everyday lesson that comes away.
There's so much that that's the hard part is it's been eye-opening because there was a while, and you'll love this, where the girls would say, like, I don't think Kelly likes me, or something like, it was like, yeah, I don't think she likes me, or she doesn't say hi. And I was like, what? I'm like, completely unaware. Like I was just in such a mode where I mean, again, like I'm running 50 things right now in my brain. There's a lot going on. So I'm in 5 different places at once. And this is in the heat of like, you know, maybe I had 2 kids at the time and I was working, you know, back into the NBC job where I'm on the road, and I, you know, maybe only had 1 salon at the time. But when I was going into the salon, I wasn't thinking, and it's something that you have to be aware of, that I wasn't like making eye contact with my staff and saying, you know, hey, Susie, nice to see you today. How are you doing? Taking that 1 minute. And, you know, it was becoming like a thing where the staff was actually saying something to the manager. The manager said something to me, and I happened to be out with, you know, some of my good friends like I was talking about. And it was actually Shannon that said, she was like, wow. I'm like, yeah, like, can you believe it? Like, they think that I'm mean, or like they think I don't like them, or they think I'm mean, or it was something. And she's like, oh my God, well, she's like her boss who, she works in a dental practice, and she's like, he does a really good job of like coming, you have to take the time to like, whether it's 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's just amazing to me that like, how perception is just not reality, but like there's so many moving parts, and once you get to a certain level, and I think I skipped over like the management role.
Yeah.
I went from like I don't know. I skipped over like the learning how to manage people role. I just went to owning the salon. And
managing people and interacting with people is tricky. And
I'm not their manager, so that's
Right.
why I purposely did that. That's why I was like, I can stay at my corporate job, because I knew I wasn't.
You separate it one degree.
I had to, because like if I was going to be a good manager, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But I knew I wasn't going to be a good manager for many reasons. I'd never done it. I'm too nice, and I had too much going on. So I was like, why don't I just pay someone to manage, which most people don't, but I'm going to pay someone to manage it so I can have that break, like that separation from them. So that we still battle that, like, who's the boss.
Well, this is what I'll say is, for those people out there that are listening or watching, success has so many levels to it. Mm-hmm. And the more success you get, the more education you have to get for yourself.
Yes. Because
there's more that comes on your plate than just the status quo.
Totally. Oh, yeah. Like,
and knowing that all of your actions will affect those around you are so important, because you are the one. When you're at that success level, you're the one that everyone else around you is looking up to.
I know. Like, look at Taylor Swift, for example. This is stupid to say that, but like how so many celebrities, and like you get to that level and it's like their brain is just like Britney Spears lost it. Like, like you look at these people, because you do it's a totally different. There's so many layers.
Yeah.
You have to be careful too.
Everything, yeah.
And protect yourself.
Everything that you do. See, it's a different train of thought nowadays when you're a business owner, I guess you could say, and this is what I'm learning from watching other people that are like the juggernauts in the industries, is how is this going to help or affect the people that work with me in every aspect? So, for example, for yourself, when you open that door, when you're going around to each spa to like just kind of check on things, whatever, and you open that door, one thought in your head is like, I should probably go up to every single chair. I should go up to every stylist and be like, hey, how you doing today? 2 seconds.
Yeah, and it's something you just didn't even think, never crossed my mind. Like,
it'll change their day.
Yes.
Because they will feel so special.
I know, but I'm like, who knew that I had that power? I mean, overnight, I just, it happened.
Every business owner.
It's crazy, and I know, and it's interesting, and then that's where Marlene is like, you just being in here changes, like, everybody acts differently.
1,000%. You're the boss.
Who knew?
Do you remember when you went to work and your boss showed up?
Yeah, but it's interesting when you're in those shoes and you didn't even know, like, overnight you put yourself in these shoes, and it's cool, but you have to manage it right.
Someone else said this on
Managing
here, but
success, I guess.
Yeah, I've quoted Spider-Man, and I don't get the quote right all the time. But with great responsibility comes with great power comes great responsibility, or something
exactly.
like that. So
there you go.
It is important. You had mentioned something a second ago that I'm gonna finish up here with is being too nice or too hard, and then like how do I deal with that later on and whatnot. And a practice that I do at the end of my day that you might want to implement into your day and see how it works is at the end of my day when I get into bed, I've done everything. I've recited my chief aim. We'll get into that some other day, but it's what I want, what I'm going to do to get it, and what I'm going to do in return when I have it. And then I do my prayers, for my brothers, my mom, and my business and all that. And then I do a practice which I call letting go of the day. And what I do is I think about my whole day, the good and the bad aspects that had happened. Anything that I did wonderful. If maybe I got mad at someone for no reason. Like maybe I was driving and I was like, motherfucker. Like I think about all the little nuances in the day. And I say, thank you very much for allowing me to have all of those good and all of those bad moments today. I appreciate the good ones, and I'm learning from the bad ones, and I'm going to let go of them now so that I may have a restful sleep. And I'm going to try to do better tomorrow. That's nice. In hopes that I have now let go of them.
Yeah.
Not holding on to them anymore. No grudges, no anger, no nothing.
Well, that's important.
And I'm able to fall asleep easier and have a more solid sleep. It's just letting go of the day. That's it.
Another thing I got to add. No,
Right?
I'm kidding.
No, but listen.
I'm just kidding.
Listen,
I love that.
the reason
It's
for
healthy,
having these
healthy.
conversations is to help people.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line, to help people. And it's not
Yeah.
just the audience out there that's watching this, or the audience on the audio, the audience that's listening to us on the audio platforms, but it's the individuals that are sitting here. I learn
Yeah.
every day from the people that are sitting in that
bet you
chair,
do.
and I'm hoping that they learn from me.
I do. I have.
That's how it is.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, for anyone that's interested, just real quick, what types of services besides child care?
Yeah. You don't have to be a single mom, obviously, like any mom. You don't have to have kids because most people don't even know we have childcare, which is
And I'm sure you
fun.
don't have to be female either. To
No, God,
enter,
no. Yeah,
right?
I know we talk like all this. No, we have plenty of male clients, which is fun. Yeah, we do. Yeah, no, we do. In Abacoa, it's mainly hair, and so any hair service you want, but we have waxing. We have an esthetician that does microblading. We have lashes, lash extensions in Abacoa, and then in Tequesta we have facials and on top of hair, nails. Yeah, anything beauty.
Everything.
Probably if we have a Botox girl that comes, or like she does like all the stuff on your face,
Injections.
fillers,
Yeah,
injections,
yeah.
you know, that life. And yeah, we have pretty much everything. We don't have a massage therapist right now because we haven't got there yet. We tried it and it just we didn't have enough demand. And then the one downtown, mainly hair, but
We'll see,
makeup, all the things, anything beauty is what
Perfect.
we just, our tagline now is beauty blowouts and babysitting, but
Love it.
yeah, so
Taglines are important.
I
Yep.
think it's fun and it's the BBB, but yeah, luckily it's hard to, I haven't diverted too much, and that's the hard part too. It's like when you start something,
Staying on brand.
Oh, it's like that's a whole new other podcast that I would, I don't know enough about it to do the podcast.
We're gonna have both you and Nazari.
Oh,
I say Nazari. You and Alex are
that
gonna
would
come
be
together,
fun.
and we're gonna do another podcast, the three of
would
us.
love that.
And we'll touch base on it. If you're ever thinking of doing a podcast, reach out to me. Like we know, it's tricky, it's hard. To start it up. It's not overnight.
This is your thing.
But no, please, no. Oh my God, it would be a totally different podcast, and you'd be doing it your way.
No.
You'll do it. We'll figure it out.
No, I will just come on here when I have time.
Then we'll do that. We'll do that again. So
it's been nice to actually get out of the house too, because I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, this is. I mean, I'm on maternity leave right now.
And Alex has the kids right now. All of them, eh?
All three. Well, he brought the other two to childcare. Oh yeah, heck no. He's like, I'm getting there right at 10. That's when it opens. But no, he has the baby right now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good dad. So that's good. Yeah.
He's a phenomenal human being. You're an amazing human being. I'm so happy
so
that you
are
came
you.
by today to have the conversation. And like I said, like we could sit for hours and hours and hours. And that's why we'll do this again and again, because it's a lot of fun. So all of the social or all the contact information will be down below here for Metime
Salons. Yeah.
Metime Salon is right below down here, so you can contact anyone at any of the locations. We'll have all the location geographic positionings, all that sort of stuff. I want to thank everyone out there for coming back for yet again another week here on the Life Choices podcast. I thoroughly enjoy doing this, as you all know. I love that you keep coming back week after week. Don't forget, we are on different audio platforms. All of our socials are down below. All of our audio platforms are down below here for you. Don't forget, if you're new to the community, you can subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell to be notified when we're doing new things. Hit us up on all of our socials. I just love all of you that have been coming and helping us with our daily growth. I keep seeing the subscription going up day by day. So thank you so very much. If there's anything you want to hear us talk about, if you want to come on an episode of the Life Choices podcast, leave us a comment down below, and I promise that I will get back to you as soon as I can. Genuinely, everybody, I love you all. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for joining us and becoming lifers, and we will see you next week here on the Life Choices podcast. Much love, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You are now about
The Journey, Life Choices podcast.